Did the SEC's Twitter account get hacked? Was it actually a post that was supposed to be posted today on Wednesday and went out on Tuesday? And what does this entire thing about front-running the announcement about a potential Bitcoin spot ETF actually mean? Does this mean that this entire topic is now over and we're not going to see a Bitcoin spot ETF? Or does this actually mean we may have a very good chance? Let's dive in and kind of dissect a little bit on what's going on. Now, obviously, we're in this super exciting week. By the way, Happy New Year. I haven't said this here. I think it's the first video we're making this year on the channel, at least from my side. So it's an exciting kind of time, and we have seen a super strong push so far from crypto in general, but specifically Bitcoin, and that really has to do with this week. Now, we are looking at some deadlines and timelines on when the SEC should make a decision on some of the Bitcoin spot ETFs. And so obviously the number one ETF there, or the key one to look at, is the ARC21. Why? Because that has a deadline today, Wednesday, actually. And if that one doesn't get really approved, then we have a couple more days for the other ETFs. But the rumor is if the SEC approves one, it approves pretty much all of them. And so yesterday, Tuesday, suddenly there was this tweet and it looked very legit. It was on the official SEC account, and that said, hey, the SEC approved the Bitcoin spot ETF. There was this quote from Gary Gensler, the chairman. And at the end, everyone kind of ran with this. The Bitcoin price pumped 5-6% within a few minutes. Obviously, everyone was super excited. News stories ran with this. Just for about 20 minutes after that, Gensler coming out, the Twitter account coming out and saying, hey, look, the Twitter account was compromised. This is actually not correct. The ETF is not approved. What happened? The Bitcoin price dumped by like 15%, and then it bounced back to the original price. And I've gotten a lot of Instagram messages and like all kinds of like Telegram and so on, where people were like, oh my goodness, I got liquidated. I saw that tweet by the SEC. I went leverage long and I wanted to go all the way. And I thought this was quite unfortunate. I mean, at the end, I think one of the key lessons always, don't use leverage. Buy into the long vision here. Don't try to trade this, go long term. And I think this was just a strong reminder here, because at the end, the SEC always says they want to avoid any kind of market manipulation. We're the market manipulator here. And this was absolutely insane. So at the end, everything kind of cooled down, and then everyone was sitting there and was like, okay, what just happened? Was this that the SEC just posted a post from today, Wednesday, yesterday on Tuesday? Was this kind of like an intern mistake? Or was there really some compromise going on? And the rumor mill was going wild. Elon Musk even jumped in and said, well, the password of their account is, I think, Doge to the fucking moon or something. So he kind of made fun of them as well. Well, at the end, the official X account actually came out and said, we did an analysis. 2FA was not activated. It's quite clear that there was some kind of compromise going on. And so this kind of destroyed a bit of the rumor mill that this was just a post that was supposed to come out today on Wednesday and just came out a day earlier. So that kind of destroyed all that kind of rumor. It looks legit that this was not supposed to happen. The big question, obviously, from there now is, because the past is the past, is what's going on today on Wednesday? Should we expect an approval of the Bitcoin spot ETF, and what could this potentially mean for the price? Because this may be interesting for you as an investor. Well, a couple of points. First of all, from everything I hear, and I wrote to a couple of friends in the US, I wrote to a couple of friends in Hong Kong who also have really good kind of connections there, and all of them kind of said this should be kind of a non-event at the end for the actual approval process, because the approval process is based on the merits, on the facts, and this should not really have an impact. So whether the ETF gets approved today or not doesn't really have anything to do with what happened yesterday, other than maybe we all kind of look at the SEC right now and think it's more, I don't know, if they can't secure their Twitter account, how safe should we feel about everything else? So my personal expectation really is that we're going to see some sort of an approval today. It would really surprise me if we don't. And then trading of that ETF may start actually within the next week. Some people are even saying tomorrow, Thursday. Some people are saying maybe next Tuesday or next Wednesday, but so kind of like in the next week. And that is at least a bit of my entire expectation there. Again, you need to make your own decision, all this. There's a couple of interesting things you could be doing, right? Obviously, the most natural thing here is you go, for example, long Bitcoin. Why? Because you may think that the price may pump. Some people are basically only betting on volatility. Other people are saying, no, this is a buy the rumor, sell the news, so I'm going to short Bitcoin. For me, I am net long Bitcoin, and I think this is actually a nice opportunity here. The big question then is, how far are we going to rally up? Well, right now the price is at 46,000. We've seen a pump to 48,000 in just a couple of minutes. Are people going to believe the news though? Or are they going to say, look, I need additional proof. I need 60,000 different proofs until I actually believe it. That's a bit of a different question. But I do think once the news is out, we're going to see a similar kind of pattern as yesterday. We should see some kind of pump and we should see some kind of momentum. How long that momentum lasts, I'm a bit more on the cautious side here. I do think we're going to see a bullish sentiment, but I'm probably more cautious on the short term. I think a lot of people are like talking about BlackRock having lined up $2 billion already. Question is this actually US dollars that are going to buy fresh Bitcoins, or are these existing Bitcoins that are basically an OTC deal that are just going to get added here? I don't know. Everyone kind of wants to hear what they want to hear. Those that are bearish say, this is just an OTC deal. Those that are bullish say, oh no, this is $2 billion freshly going into Bitcoin. Let's see. I just don't see how any of that is actually bearish. Again, no financial advice. I am quite hopeful for the entire week. For you, check out what we have here on the platform, especially the various bundles that have Bitcoin in it, that allow you to get some nice exposure on the long run. And as always, be very careful with leverage. Be careful with any kind of short-term trading. And again, you need to make up your own mind in all of those. Let me know maybe in the comments what you think, if you believe that this was actually a hack, or do you think it was just a mistake? And maybe give me a price prediction. Where do you think the Bitcoin price goes here with an approval over the next 1 or 2 weeks? Would be very interesting to hear. All the best. Yours truly, Julian.